Hi friends, this is Swati Medasani. Today I am going to explain you about Apache OpenOffice 4.1.2. Coming to the introduction, what is OpenOffice? Apache OpenOffice is an OpenOffice productivity software suite. It is a successor project of openoffice.org and integrates features and improvements. OpenOffice contains word processors, spreadsheet applications, presentation suites, database, and many more tools and applications. Highlights in OpenOffice. Click on thumbnail images, you can get the large pictures, the new multiplane view which is used in the presentations, enhancer PDF expert. By this, it is possible to define the comprehensive levels of embedded images. The PDF supports now currently handles thumbnail images and hyperlinks. New enhancer database frontend. The new embedded HSQL database engine based on Java technology allows creating database documents. These simple database files don't require a backend database server like MySQL. All information is stored in one XML file. Mail merged wizards. The new mail merged wizards is very easy to do mails to hundreds of recipients. Various data sources are used for address information. Support for nested tables. It is possible to create tables within tables. This increases overall usability and also improves compatibility with Microsoft Word. Improvements in OpenOffice. General areas of improvements include several listing enhancements were applied to web data management and file locking. Now, I'm going to explain you about how to download and install Apache OpenOffice. For this, I need to Google as www.openoffice.org. So it shows a page which has many options. I want to download Apache OpenOffice. So let's see what happens if I click on this. I got a window showing the download Apache OpenOffice for Windows. It is also available in many languages, as we can see here. It is available in these many languages. So I choose English US and I want to download the latest version. So click on to download full installation. So let's scroll down to download Apache OpenOffice. I can see here it's downloading. It's a large software, so it takes a minute to download. The software is completely downloaded. So let's run it. I will click next, and here is the destination where my OpenOffice is going to unpack. So it's on the desktop and leave everything like this. We can see the software is unpacking. So let's minimize the window and click on next. My username is Medasani and install this application for anyone who uses computer. I'm going to use this one and I want to download the main components. So I want to have a link on the desktop, so I will leave this the same and click on install. So now my software is completely installed and I can see a link on my desktop. We can click finish. So let's see what happens if I open this. Here I got all the programs that are available in OpenOffice. One is the text document, the spreadsheet, presentation for doing presentations, drawing for drawing, database for creating the databases, and formula for maths, and many more templates. Now I am going to explain you about how to write a document in OpenOffice Writer. Before discussing about it, let's talk few points about the OpenOffice Writer. OpenOffice Writer is similar to the Microsoft Office, and we can write the documents and reports or any kind of the programs in it. The main advantage of OpenOffice Writer over the Microsoft Word is it is completely free and compatible. So now let's discuss briefly about OpenOffice Writer. Already I have written some of the document in the OpenOffice Writer, and now let's see the changes what we can make in OpenOffice Writer. We can notice a black line around the text. It is the space where we can write the text. Also we can change, it's called as a margin. So we can change its format and the margins by selecting the format in the menu bar and by selecting the page in it. So the format here is the user, it's the default one. We can change it to any of the one. As we select here, we can see there is a change in the page format on the right hand side. So I will use the default one, which is the user. I can also change the width and the height of the page by making the changes in the number, and I can even change the page orientation to portrait or landscape. I can also even change the margins on the page, like by changing the number to some 90 to 95 and applying the changes. So I can see there is a change in the page. I can also change the page by using the margins. Now let's talk about the font and the sizes. So by selecting the text, we can change its font and the size of the text. Here we can see all the fonts that are available in the OpenOffice Writer. So the default is the Times New Roman. I can select that, or even I can change it to some other thing. So we can see that the text has changed it to some other font. So I am keeping it as the Times New Roman, and I can even also increase the size or decrease the size. Now let's coming to bullets and numbering. We can apply bullets and numbering to the pages by selecting the numbering on the toolbar, or we can press F12. So what happens if we click number? We can see the number that appears inside the document. I can also apply the bullets instead of numbers. I can apply to the downside also. You can change it by clicking the down arrow or the upper arrow, or I can push it to the some other one. I can even change the text from upside from the to downside. Next, coming to editing, I can select the text and can copy it, and I can paste it somewhere else by selecting the paste option in the toolbar. See, I can see my text that has been changed from the place where I copied to the place where I can want to change it. I can also even cut and copy it. I can even select some of the text. I can select cut, and I want to paste it over here. See, so we have an option of undoing all the operations or all the changes which we have done till now. So we can see here the last one I pasted has been undone, the selected one, the copied one. I can even do many undos. Here is the original text. Now we can find and replace the word. Like if we want to replace one thing with another thing, we need to check for that word, or we need to search for that word. So instead of doing that long process, we can easily do it by find and replace. So I want to replace the by like any other thing, for. So I can replace all. So search key replaces 19 times. Like the is replaced for 19 times. I can say OK and close. Now smell checking. We can see there are some red underlines under the text. So those are all the words which are not found in the OpenOffice Writer. So we can do it by going to Tools. We can select the spell and grammar, or can press F7. So we can ignore once, to unmat, or ignore all. So when we press on ignore all, it's asking for continue checking at the beginning of the document. So we want to check it from beginning of the document. I am clicking S. So it has changed everything. Now I am closing it. Now we want to find the synonyms for the word. So we have an option of finding synonyms in the OpenOffice Writer. We can go to Tools, You can see select the language and can fill the thesaurus. So we can select the word like animate. We have no synonyms for that word, or we can select the word the document. So we have the synonyms for the word document, the paper, the written material, or everything. So it's showing it's a noun. It's a represent generic form. We can see all the synonyms for that word document. So cancel. Now let's talk about the spreadsheet or the calc in the OpenOffice. First, go to the menu bar and see all the commands what we have. It's good to go to all the menus and the commands and look at the shortcut keys that are present right of the commands, and also have a quick view about the tools. It's open, it's showing all what the tool is, so it will be helpful when you are doing some calculations in the calc. And we have the cells here, and this is the cell number and the name box. This is the function wizard, this is the sum, this is the function, this is the input line. And coming to the columns, we call as the cells. This is A1 cell, this is B2 cell. As we go to the B2 cell, it's showing the B2 in the name box. And we have some properties here, like we can change the text, or we can change the size or the font. We can add it to bold, italic, and underline. We have the alignments, we have the cell appearance, and etc. We can also add the headings like the styles and the formatting. We can also have the gallery. We can include the background images or the bullets in the sheet. We can include the comments, graphics, linked areas, database ranges, and range names, etc. And coming to the here, this is called the squid. We can drag and drop it, and we can also see in the right down corner, you can click and drag and drop it. So we can see the 4 different areas on the sheet. Bring them back. We can also change the text. We can also change the size of the cell by quickly holding it and dragging and drop it. We can change it, and I'm doing the undo operation. And in the right bottom corner, we can see the 100%. This is the zoom in. Let's click on this. It's showing the option like it's now presently it's 100%. We can also zoom it by using the slide bar. You can completely zoom in and zoom out. And this is the sum. Present it's showing 0. So let's do the sum operation, like giving some numbers to the cell. If I select these 3 cells, it's showing the sum as 10. The next is the digital signature, and this is the standard bar. I am keeping it as a standard. We can also have the another one, and it is showing the sheet. One of the is showing in what sheet we are presently. We are in the sheet 1. So finally, the last thing in this video is we can go to help and say what's this. So when we put on any of the tool in the toolbar, it gives a complete description about that tool. Let's talk about the presentations in the OpenOffice. So select presentation. I'm selecting the entry presentation. That's the original one, and I'm selecting create. See, our presentation is now it's created. So first go to the menus and look at the commands and the shortcut is present the side of the commands and look at some of the properties present in the right side of the presentation. These are the properties which include the layout. The layout has many options like what the slide to be appear. We can choose any of these. The second is the master page. The first page, like what we have, which is available to use. We can make the master page like this and remaining pages as we want, or we can use the same for the remaining pages too. We can customize our own animation and can apply to the slideshow. Next is the slide transition, like the transition to the next slides, and we can apply to the all sides of the single slide. Next is the styles and the formatting. We can apply this to the slide. Next is the gallery, importing the images into our slides. Next is the navigator to the slides. And now let's create or insert a new slide. We can add any of the title over here, like basic. I can change the font to Arial black and can even change the size. Make it bold, italic, and underline it. And also I can check the spell check. I can even format it with the paintbrush. I can increase the font or decrease the font for the text. This is the handout area of the presentation. We have different things, the slide sorter. We can select the text, we can right click it. We have the many commands here, like line spacing between the one, the alignment, the style, bold to italic or anything, a special character which you want to include, the numbering or bullet or case or characters, the edit styles, the synonyms for the basic. Let's talk about the drawing in the OpenOffice. Select the drawing in the OpenOffice. We got the page that has the drawing option. So go to the view bar and select as a paint page. We can see only the page that we want to draw. So we have also different tools in the toolbar which are similar to the other tools in other programs in the OpenOffice. We also have the color bar over here. All the drawing items are shown here. So let's start the drawing. We can draw ellipse over here, and we can even rotate it. So while rotating we can see the red border around it, so we can rotate it or flip it. Let's draw a triangle. We can also rotate it so that we can see that both are attached to each other. So now we can even also select. We can also make some other tools, like we can also have the 3D settings, the commands, drawing, endpoints, find, etc. in order to insert. So we can also insert some other tables or the slides or from any of the files on your computer, any sounds or the charts. So now let's change the color of the rectangle. Now draw the arrow marks between the two. We can add an event to that by clicking on the text, like start event. We can also have the different toolbars on the side, like just like as the other tools in the other programs in OpenOffice. Now I will show you how to create the database in OpenOffice. For doing the OpenOffice, select the database, create the new database and click on next. I don't want to register for the database, and then click finish. Here is the name for the database. I'm giving as example. Save. Yeah, here we see the table. So we are going to create a table in the design view. So let's create a student table. The student has student ID, which is a number, and name, which is text varchar, phone number, which is uh, a number and its length is 10. The student ID length is some 9, and now I'm going to save this, and I'm going to give the table name as student. Oops, I need to create the primary key. Yes, the ID is the primary key. I want to make the student ID as the primary key, and want to delete this record. I can see, we can see the student table. And now we are going to insert the records into the student table. The student ID some 1 2 4 5 6 7, and the name as some Dina, and his phone number 507 906 8967. Anything. Another record, name as John, phone number for including the spaces between the phone number we need to select as the text, so I gave as the number, so we do not accept any of the spaces between the numbers. So I will save this. Save current record is showing the number of records is 2. Closing this one, and queries. We have created the tables now, and we are writing the queries for the table. So create the query in the design view. Student add. Here the query. Add. We need to create the now we need to create the query in the SQL view. So we have created the student employee. So I am doing select star from student, and I'm running the query. So we have 2 records. It's showing the 2 records. And now the forms. Use wizard to create the form, and here we have the table student, and I click finish. We can add any number of rows to the student, like I can create another record and phone number as I can save it now. Reports, we can generate report in the databases. So we can see the report that will be generated. Here is the report, the student ID, the name, and the phone number. This is all about the databases. Now I'm going to explain you how to create the formula in the openoffice. Formula in the openoffice is nothing but creating the math functions in a text document. Now we have a window that is the document in which the mathematical functions are available. So let's select any of the operation like A into B. We can see the XML format that is open in the screen. So we can do 4 times any of the calculation of the 4 times of the 5 to display here, and also uh, you can insert like 5 times 5 and 6. You can also include the functions within the functions, the A and B, the 5 of 6 times 7 and 6, etc. We have even the toolbars, the zoom in zoom out functions, and the catalogs, save functions, and menus similar to the other menus in the other programs in OpenOffice. We have many of the mathematical formulas, like we can insert the matrices. We can have the Greek functions. We can have the vector functions, the sigma functions, uh, the uh, tan and cat functions, the trigonometric functions, etc. Many more in the OpenOffice math. Now I'm going to explain you about how to create the templates in the OpenOffice. So for doing this, let's move on to the templates. And we have many of the menus here. We can import from any of these, like on my document we can import the previous ones, or from the samples. We don't have presently any of the samples, so let's take from the templates. So I don't have anything in the my templates, or I haven't created any of the things, the presentation backgrounds and the presentations, and like these are all the default ones. So I can go to the presentation backgrounds and can select any of these. We have many of these, like I can select water. We can see the date it is modified in 2008, modified on, and again it's showing the size is 4 KB, type is the open document presentation template. Next we can say open. We will get an presentation like already we have done the previously, like OpenOffice Impress, and all the features in it are similar to that. We can see the we can also have additional features, like we can include the drawings and the colors and the layouts already we have seen. We can customize our own animations. We can also include the charts, tables, insert pictures, or insert movie, which is similar to the Impress, which we have already explained. Finally, I'm going to show you how to create some other things like the HTML document. This is more similar to the OpenOffice writer, but we can save it as the .html as a web extension, and all the features in it are similar to the OpenOffice writer, and we can have extra features like we can have the input gallery, we can input the data sources, or also can import non-printing characters, and other features are more similar to the OpenOffice writer, which we have already seen. And next is how to create an XML document. This is also similar to the OpenOffice writer, but we have extra properties, like we can have the design mode, the checkbox, the text box, a formatted field, push button and the open button, list box, label field, combo box, more controls, and for form designs, etc. We have here also we have a model, like we can create the model with the instances, the submission, and the bindings. And next is the master document. The master document is almost very similar to the OpenOffice writer, and additionally we have the navigator, and we can also have the edit option, update option, insert, and the save content saver. And all the tools in the toolbar are similar to the writer. I can show you how to create the labels. Like the labels, we can create the address, the database of the tables or database field, anything, or in the format we can have the pitch, the width, margins of the page, and options like the enter page or the single label, etc. Finally, I want to show you how to create the business cards. The medium, which is the brand page, like it's A4. The business cards, which includes the shape and the font in which the card should be, like the private details, the business details, the format like the elements of the page, and finally the option that you want to distribute on the single page or the entire page. Hence, this is all about the OpenOffice writer. Hope you all understood very good. Thank you for watching the video.